Yes guys, here we are for another episode of my F1 22 My Team career mode. Today we're here for a Pirelli Hotlap at the upcoming Canadian Grand Prix. First of all though, if you haven't seen the previous episode, Baku, go check it out. Before we jump into spoilers, link up in the top right. But with that said, let's move into this Pirelli Hotlap event, which features the Mercedes, which essentially is a safety car but with a black livery. It's definitely one of the best, if not the best, supercar to drive on the game in my opinion. I really love how this car handles, and low-key, whisper it so no one knows, but I'm actually quite enjoying the supercars on F1 22, and if I don't overplay them, I think they're going to be quite a welcome thing this year for me as I go through the game. With that said, we missed out last time in Baku with the gold score. This time we achieved it, and this was a really fun one. Going through the gates, drifting through, trying to of course beat the time, and we comfortably beat it by 6 seconds, so we get 100,000 extra cash and 1,000 to claim. Now though, this may be in the title of the video, and if it is, this is the main event and something I want to show you guys. Mods are now possible to be used in the F1 game, and I have made a change. The livery is the same for now. I've seen some comments, we might update the livery. I've got something up my sleeve, which I'm not sure if it'll be mid-season or season 2. But for now we have a change, and it's the tyres, or the wheels in this case specifically. So originally the wheels on the car were silver. You can kind of see it a little bit, but the wheel covers do kind of hide it. But we've now gone for completely black wheels, black wheel covers with a little bit of red trim on the inside, a la Ferrari and Alpha Tauri. So essentially it makes a big difference in my opinion. The car looks a lot meaner, and it just brings the livery together a bit more. And you know, especially while we're running this kind of default livery that we have. As we now jump into the weekend, so we have rain forecast in qualifying. We have 2 upgrades on the car, which has unlocked 2 further upgrades, which I'm very excited about. The first one is the chassis for the weight reduction, which we'll do at the end of this episode, and then also another one for the aerodynamics, which is for the drag reduction, which hopefully we'll do, if not at the end of the episode, some point down the line. Either way, drag reduction, weight reduction, those 2 are the biggest things to improve. Now, in practice, we got underway with the track acclimatization, and we got absolutely destroyed by STROLL in a straight line as he got past. Luckily for us, no time loss, and it didn't affect my practice program, so we managed to get a perfect purple score across the line and see that through. Confirmation back in the pit lane of the purple and green scores, but overall succeeding in achieving maximum points. Now, I want to talk about something in this video, and you might notice it as the episode goes on. I feel like I've noticed a theme in the last few episodes. I feel like the AI might be bugged in a straight line, and they may have something with unlimited DRS. This also confirmed, if you look at the top of the screen, this is a tyre wear test, and for some reason my score is going down on a straight. I don't understand how in a straight line I can get tyre wear. It makes no sense. You'll see later in this episode, I noticed it in Baku as well, the AI seemed very fast on a straight. Even if I ran a low downforce setup, they're just so much quicker. You can see here we had an absolute horrific time, but look at the red. It's only on the straights where I'm getting tyre wear. It seems like this is back to front. It should be the other way around. Tyre wear should be in the corners, not on the straights. Either way, maybe they're linked, who knows, but I thought it was quite weird how I was just getting tyre wear for just driving straight. It seemed really weird to me. With that said, we've done the race strategy program. I succeeded in achieving the first lap, but only by the skin of my teeth, and the second lap I was pushing too hard and went for a spin. So long story short, I gave up because I knew I wasn't going to be able to maintain and keep the pace up. What I did do though after FP1 is a suggestion you guys have said in the comments, so I've decided to dip into the quick practice system to get the practice programs done, therefore getting as many R&D points as possible. I did see some comments saying that this year there's not as much engine wear added for doing this, so we're going to test it out for a few episodes and see how it goes and see if it helps us, you know, accrue a few more resource points to help us push forward on the development. So yeah, with that said, you can see we scored between us about 550 points, and then we got a bunch of discounts as always. The streamlined suspension arms is what I have my eye on for the end of this episode. That's the upgrade I want to make, so hopefully we can do that here today. With that said though, and livery updates aside, practice aside, we're now ready for qualifying, and I think for the first time this season since, I want to say Imola, we've got some rain, and this is serious rain. I'm talking the whole qualifying session, at least Q1 should be wet. So let's see how it goes. And hopefully this might present an opportunity for us to get a decent result. So here we are at the end of my very first push lap. I will admit, the lap felt average, but I was driving very slow. I don't have a lot of experience in the wet on this game, and I was trying to build up my confidence. So the first lap was done. I then went for a cool-off lap, and then I went for a second push as I fueled for multiple laps. You can see here through the final chicane, we found 1.5 seconds, and a big reason for that, besides me gaining confidence, I found out that the differential this year is a very powerful tool in the wet. Unlike last year's game, I think back to like 2018, 2019, if you run 50 off diff, it's going to gain you a lot of time in the wet conditions. So yeah, you'll see me gradually over qualifying and work my way down on the diff. After that second lap, I went for another cool down lap and then a final push. You can see here with 7 minutes to go, we're up again by 4/10 as we make our way into the final chicane, trying to carry the speed through here and up to the line. It's going to be nearly 5/10, nearly half a second improvement. We just about dip into the 119s, but we stay P21. Now, let's quickly mention tyre pressures in the rain seem to have a different effect to the dry. So in the dry, the recurring theme seems to be you want to try and run them as low as possible. In the wet, you want to run them higher than usual. So I started to kind of pick up on these things, and I started to change the setup a little bit. So I was running a bit higher tyre pressures, more or less about midway through, and I was gradually reducing the diff to the point where you can see now on the screen it's down to 50. And this was helping me find time. I also took a gamble and pushed up my front wing by one more click for this final run. And you can see here we're 4/10 up already on this first lap. The track is drying, by the way, the rain has stopped. So the track is constantly evolving, so you have to try and be on track at all time to find lap time. We went up to P20, we overtook Ricardo, and we're still ahead of Paul Chair. And this lap was really, really good. We're 4/10 up, but unfortunately I just invalidate, which was really, really unfortunate through the right-left chicane. With that said, I continued to push just to see what the lap would have been, the pace. And it looks like we're going to get into the 118s here as we make our way through the final chicane. We're going to improve by nearly 7/10 and dip into the 18s. So that's encouraging. And this is going to be our last attempt now in qualifying, as the checkered flag has just dropped. So we just made it through for one more lap. Straight away out of turn 3, we're up by 1/10 as we go into turn 3 and 4. Another thing I noticed and picked up on in this wet session, if you drop your ERS to none, it's super good and super overpowered at finding rear traction this year. So that's a tip I would give you guys. If you can run none ERS, that will help you find traction so much better than hot lap mode. You can see here, this is even faster than the previous lap. 7/10 up, making our way into the place where we made a mistake last time. This time around we keep it nice and clean. Look at this, we're 8/10 up, absolutely flying. Into the hairpin we go, braking at the 100-meter board, down to second, a little bit deep on the corner, but we pull it back nicely, we avoid the lock-up, and we get a nice exit. A little bit of oversteer right at the last second, but still we're gaining on the delta. Unfortunately now we're going to run out of ERS, which is going to cost me a bit of time. You can see a shake of the head as we bleed about 1/10 of a second, maybe a touch more. Now going into the final chicane, trying to get the drive out of there, absolutely perfect, but again we're out of battery, so we're losing time here, and across the line we go. It's a 118 point, I believe 5 or 6 I want to say, P20 though for us, and we're out in Q1 yet again. However, well actually okay, it's a 118.2, so yeah, we found a lot of time actually, and the car was working well. I was really happy with it, and I do think reality kind of struck. Eventually everybody set their kind of more normal lap times. Paul Chair was still 8/10 quicker. I do believe there may be some bugged lap times there with some time sim. However, P20 will take that. We're not on the back row. It's an improvement. It's a thumbs up from me, and I think we lost about 2/10 due to lack of ERS at the end, so I do think we could have gone a touch quicker. Nonetheless, lots of positives, and we can now carry those into the race.
It's time once again then to go racing here in Montreal, the second largest French-speaking city in the world, and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles per hour here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions, and watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and that final chicane. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Russell, Sergio Perez and Norris, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso and Valtteri Bottas, Ocon, Zhou, Alex Albon and Vettel, Théo Pourchaire, Verstappen, Pierre Gasly and Martinez, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Latifi. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now, for the first time in a bloody long time, we're not starting on the last row. Imola was the only race, and technically the sprint race, where we didn't start from the back. Still though, it's refreshing to not be on the last row. P18, a couple of penalties have helped us up a little bit, and we're starting a bit further forward. Strategy is going to be interesting this race, because I've gone for the personalised one compared to projected. However, there's not a lot of difference, only about 1 kilo in fuel. The key thing here is the game recommends medium hard, which is what we do every single race. However, this is one of those circuits where a 2-stop is actually a decent option. So what we're going to do is we're going to prepare a second option, because I feel like we could consider this one moving forward. I don't have 2 sets of mediums, so we'll consider maybe if I reverse this so I can do a medium soft, that would be pretty decent. More or less, I'd say that's what we'd be looking at. That's another option. It's about 4 seconds slower, but we'll see how it goes. It all depends on safety cars, how the race start goes. I'm running 0.8 extra fuel, so let's get into the formation lap and let's see how this race goes. I'm looking forward to this race. I feel like this could be a decent one for us. Canada has historically been a good race for me in career mode. I got proven wrong in Monaco, but I'm optimistic. I managed to, get a top 10 in FP1 on the mediums, which isn't something that's happened yet this season. So there have been little signs here and there, and the qualifying also helped build up my confidence. So let's see if we can deliver. Perfect line up on the grid, just behind Verstappen and Gasly. Right, Pourchaire 15th, we're 18th. Let's turn it around. Underway. Decent start, a little bit slow, not my best one, but we'll take it. I've left the inside wide open, but we're going to try and fight back up the inside here. On Gasly, we've got Pourchaire and Verstappen side by side up ahead. Gasly with the traction out of there. We're going to fight back though, back up the inside into the chicane, and we're going to get ahead to try and get the elbows out early on, show a bit of aggression. Look at that Pourchaire back up the inside of Max Verstappen. Go on, son. Get involved, get stuck in. We've got Gasly for company here. We're going to defend the inside. Looks like we're way down on straight line speed already, which is a bit disappointing, but partly to be expected. Slight bit of contact there with Gasly as he kept his nose in. I left plenty of space on the inside, but down to the hairpin we go. Easy does it on the brakes. Let's not overcommit. Decent first lap though. Pourchaire loses the place. We gain one, so I'll take that. Let's see if we can try and have a bit more race pace today. I want to try and be positive, even with 110AI, and try to make things work. Let's see if this is a better event for us. Well, so far, so good. We've managed to stay within the DRS range of our teammate, and the pack of cars ahead is all one big DRS train right now, so this is good. We are down on straight line speed, and I think ERS is going to get used up quite a lot, but I do think there's a bit more potential this race compared to others, and I think we might have an opportunity, so I'm already kind of inclined to want to put some pressure on myself to try and get some points if I can, as I don't know when that next opportunity will arrive. Tsunoda out of the race. He's on the back straight. Could possibly trigger a safety car unless he's pulled over safely. Wouldn't particularly mind either way. If we got one or not, doesn't really matter at this stage of the race. Right then, Pourchaire has dropped out of the DRS range of Verstappen now. I think this could happen and we could close back up, but now we're going to be the ones to put a bit of pressure on our teammate for a change. Although I will say, I think he's slightly quicker than me. I'm just hanging on because of DRS mainly, I will admit. So I'm quite happy to just follow at this stage of the race, to be honest. First warning for track limits. Verstappen and Vettel going side by side here, battling away. We're just chilling, doing our thing. Cars working well. We're definitely a bit more competitive this weekend, at least on level terms with Pourchaire more or less. Here comes Gasly closing in. But yeah, the car's working well. We'll keep chipping away. Strategy could be key, pit stop phase could be key. Let's see who's one stopping and who's two stopping. Verstappen, Vettel side by side again. Let's see what happens in this time around, and maybe Pourchaire can pick up the pieces. We are approaching the pit stop window, pit stop phase, so it does seem like everyone is going to try and one stop onto the hard tire. I'm tempted to two stop and try something different, but at the same time, for the first time, we're actually competitive in a while, so I also don't want to take any unnecessary risks or throw this away. So we'll stay where we are for now, but you never know, safety cars can always change a race. Now we're going to box. The madness is about to kick off. Gasly might get close here. Let's be careful with this pit entry. Slow down. Lovely. Right, sorry for not talking much. I've been really tense, trying to make no mistakes and just, you know, keep putting the laps in. Pourchaire's pace was really strong and he's been dragging me along fantastically well. Oh, slow stop. I don't believe it. Gasly's jumped us. Fantastic. Thank you, pit crew.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Finally having a decent little race, and the pit crew do me the favour of letting Gasly jump us. Fantastic. Well, let's try and stick with, but I feel like I struggle a bit more than the AI do with cold tyres, so this might be an issue. Already been dropped out of range.
Okay, Teo's in the pits. Teo in the pits.
Stroll's going to be onto us soon. He's gained 3/10 in that hairpin alone. I'm going as fast as I can, but with cold tyres it's not that easy. The AI are much stronger than us. Let's see how much time we've lost, how much damage with that slow stop. Schumacher's in the pits. We could be closer to Schumacher, to be fair. However, he will have cold tyres. So we're ahead of Schumacher for now, behind Gasly, Latifi, and presumably of course Pourchaire as well. So lost about 2 places. Pace isn't too bad, we're actually catching up to Gasly here, but then we're going to drop so much time because of the fact that he has DRS and I don't. But the pace is there. Second warning for track limits though. So be careful now for the rest of the race. I've got to say, for a track with 3 DRS zones, it's been a very boring race with no overtakes. I was expecting more action from the AI and more opportunities to present themselves, but nothing is happening so far. Everyone's just in a train. Still, pace is better this race, but I wish we'd see a bit of action because I've actually got a chance, I feel like, of making something happen this race. My pace feels better on this tyre than this medium, but Schumacher's now catching us up because the Haas, of course, is a much better car. Okay, we're not going to fight Mick Schumacher when he arrives. He's pretty quick. He could be the answer for us to catch back up to Gasly and the train of cars ahead. So we'll take the pain if necessary. Make up the inside into their hairpin. Gonna leave loads of space. Just got to be careful with Stroll here. I don't want to finish last on track if I can avoid it. We don't even have DRS. I thought I would have got it, but then again I did cross the line first, so yeah, I'm not even going to fight Stroll now because of that. Just pointless trying to fight into there. I just don't want to break this train. I want to try and stay in the race, but the AI make it so hard for that to happen. I'm losing so much on the straight. It's literally 2-3 per straight. It's crazy. I'm able to hang in the corners, but we're going to drop out of DRS range. Unfortunately, it's just inevitable. Unless the AI battle, I can't keep up. Just losing way too much on the straights, period. If you watch the delta here, I mean, I'm out of the RS anyway, but the gap's going to be 1.4 by the time we get to the chicane. It's crazy. And I'm pulling, you know, 3:15, but look at that, we're gone. That's it. Just impossible to hang on. So this is going to be our race over now, unfortunately. Had decent pace at times, but we've just lacked a little bit in this crucial part of the race. And I won't say it's pace outright, it's just ERS. I can't hang on to it. We need those ERS upgrades to make the ERS more durable, because we just run out straight away, you know, so quickly. And we need it to stay competitive on the straights. Well, we're back in DRS range, courtesy of Mick Schumacher, and these guys are now battling. Look at that, Stroll getting right out of shape, and we're gonna go back through. I've been using no battery at all. I've kind of given up on this race, so I'm just gonna see what I can do, you know, with what's left in the reserves. But yeah, Mick was way too fast, so obviously he cleared Pierre, and then Pierre started battling with Stroll. But you can see here, this is a flat-out DRS race. Stroll's probably using battery, but still, we're no match on the straight. Oh, wow, whoa! Surely safety car.
Okay, clear. The safety car's out. We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. Be careful.
My God.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace.
I'm in shock. What a shunt. My goodness me. Well, nothing to lose. Soft tyres on. Let's reduce the front wing by 1.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
No one's going to pit. Only me. Front wing change if necessary. All the good bits. We're going to go for this and gamble. I don't think we'll get points. I think we're too far back, but still, let's have a little bit of fun. Right, let's box and get the soft tyres on. It's going to give us a chance to fight at the end of the race. Easy does it.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Yeah, that's not going to be a concern, Jeff. I don't think I'm going to catch the back of the train. If the safety car does come in this lap, we might miss it. Let's see how it goes. Let's speed this up a little bit. Please be a good stop. Missed my gear there, but still 2.2. Great stop. Come on, let's get back on it.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap.
Oh, come on. Why am I being put under a limiter? Fernando Alonso's out of the race. The game's limiting my speed. I'll try and catch up as much as I can, but the game is throttling me right now. Let me go. There's Alonso. Unfortunately, we're nowhere near. Race got back underway. Needed 1 more lap of safety car. Would have made no difference had I picked the lap before. We were just so far behind, nearly a lap down, that the safety car didn't stay out long enough. So yeah, we'll finish P19 this race, but let's see if we can try and get our fastest lap maybe. Well, that's not great. To's having such a good weekend and such a good race, and he's now got issues in the closing stages. I think he might get away with it though, as it is the last lap of the race. There we go, Leclerc wins it. Fastest lap at the end. Was that a 1 minute 10.1? If so, that's ridiculous. I was going for the fastest lap, which was a 1:11.3, which I think I could have done, but never mind. Paul Chair finishes P17 in the end. We're using up our battery reserves to try and set a personal best. Pretty nicely done through there, to be fair. But there we go. Bit of drama at the end, but still P19, a better race.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we could talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those that we've witnessed today.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
There we have it then. The results are in for the Canadian Grand Prix and Leclerc wins again. Hamilton P2, Sainz third. Mercedes turning up now in the championship. They've come alive and they're starting to put some pressure on now and making it a three-way fight. Perez P5, Norris P6. Of course, we have had our battles with Norris this season. It goes to show that the AI difficulty at some races compared to others is just insane, the difference. Magnussen P7, Bottas, Ricciardo and Zhou Guanyu P10. Verstappen P11, fair play, not the best recovery but still 5 places gained, but he misses out on the points. Ocon, Albon, Vettel, Latifi, Schumacher, Paul Chair P17 at the end with issues. Gasly, myself, Fernando, DNF along with Stroll and Tsunoda. So yes, we finished last on track technically, but still that was a much improved race. I feel like I turned the corner of that race, the car felt better, and we've got big upgrades on the way. What we need now is a nice big break in between races to really help get a decent package on the car. Either way, let's look at the standings after that one. So, as you can see, we're P13, Lando moves even further ahead in P10, but no change to our position. Sainz only 11 points clear now, with Hamilton third and Russell P5. Constructors, Mercedes P2 ahead of Red Bull, pulling away actually, Ferrari 120 clear, McLaren overtake Alfa Romeo, and McLaren are pretty much long gone now with those points. So we're battling AlphaTauri and they're still 2 points behind us. So yeah, that is it guys for the race. First and foremost, activities. We've got a 10-day break, which is good, so that will give us time to get upgrades on the car. Let's go ahead and see what the best options are for us. So first of all, we'll go for ones that don't affect parts of the team, ideally. We'll go for a sponsor headquarters tour. That's a decent bit of a claim, to be honest. We'll go for chassis equipment upgraders. That brings in a few resource points, and then we'll go for second driver PR filming, as that also brings in a decent amount of acclaim and a cash boost as well. With that said, upgrades. Let's have a look at what options we have. So aero, streamlined suspension arms. I said I wanted to get this, and we're going to go ahead and get it on the car and waste no time, because that is a big upgrade. 30 days though, quite a wait until that arrives, which isn't ideal, but still we'll take it as it is. No more upgrades to do as we have no more points left, but we have 2 majors and 1 minor. If all of this arrives, it should really help push us above Aston Martin and AlphaTauri and leave us just behind Alpine. So yeah, there's the progress history. The field, generally the spread is getting closer if you compare it to parts of the season. We're all kind of bunching up. But yeah, the next race is Silverstone, our home race. I'm very excited to hopefully have a decent weekend there. But yeah, let's skip ahead. Let's see if everything goes through okay and upgrades arrive. And fingers crossed, I might be able to get a facility upgrade at the end of this. And there we go, just like that. We are at the British Grand Prix. Pirelli Hotlap, which we will take part in next episode. Definitely going to be the Aston Martin Vantage F1 edition for sure, because Aston Martin British Grand Prix go hand in hand. $2.44 million, which means can I squeeze a facility upgrade on? I wanted to get fabrication level 2, but I don't quite have enough. What else can we do? Sponsor relations, again, that's a good one to get, but it's 3.5 mil. We don't quite have enough, man. I really thought it'd be a bit better. Pit crew equipment. I can't throw $1 million away like that, so we're not going to spend it. So we're going to have to hold on to the cash. I wanted to get fabrication level 2 on the aero, but we'll have to wait until later on down the line. So yeah, that's it guys for today's race. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe for more daily F1 content on the channel. As always, a big thank you to the members for supporting the content. As always, check out the videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And yeah guys, I'll see you next time for the British Grand Prix, my home race, the team's home race, and fingers crossed this episode was a turn of form, and hopefully we can carry it forward. Either way, guys, cheers for watching, and cheerio.